On November 21st, 1956, the very first Cy Young winner in Major League Baseball history was Don Newcombe of the LA Dodgers. Not only was he the first, showing how much progression had come to the league as he was an African-American pitcher, dominating the league and winning an award named after one of the most prolific pitchers in baseball history. Today we're going to dive into the history of the Cy Young Award and Don Newcombe on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide as you daily learn about more sports history as we dive into the Cy Young Award and Don Newcombe. And today's trivia question is, how many pitchers have won MVP and Cy Young in the same year? Now, when you hear the name Cy Young, you often think one of the greatest pitchers in baseball, or you think about the Cy Young Award that's given every year to the best pitcher in each league of Major League Baseball. But it wasn't always that way. See, the Cy Young didn't start till 1956. And before then, the only award a player could win at the end of the season was Most Valuable Player, which was established in 1931 and it often favored position players, although there were 5 pitchers from each league that ended up winning the Most Valuable Player before there was a Cy Young. But what really changed was after Cy Young passed away in 1955, the league wanted to honor him as he led the league with an astounding 551 career victories and was the first player to pitch a perfect game in Major League history, which we actually covered in a previous episode. And so when Cy Young passed, Commissioner Ford Frick realized that pitchers were undervalued in the MVP voting, so he thought to create this award after Cy Young to be given out to the best pitcher that year and give it the name Cy Young after the greatest pitcher in MLB history. And the first player to win that award in 1956 was Don Newcombe of the LA Dodgers. Now, Don didn't actually play high school baseball, as this high school didn't have a baseball team. So he played semi-pro baseball while attending high school. And then when he was done, he actually joined the Newark Eagles of the Negro National League in 1944 and 1946 before being signed by the Dodgers and followed a similar path to Jackie Robinson, playing for the Montreal Royals in the AAA before being called up on May 20th, 1946 to pitch for the Brooklyn Dodgers, making him the third African-American pitcher to be featured to play in the majors. And he immediately helped as he won 17 games and led them to a pennant that year. And he was among the first 4 black players to be named to an All-Star game with teammates Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, and Indians' Larry Doby. And he was named Rookie of the Year. In the following seasons, he would win 19 and 20 games, as well as leading the league in strikeouts. Although his time was broken up when he had to go fight in the Korean War for 2 years, but he came back in 1954 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Although he struggled that first year back, he slowly came into form, and the next year, he led the NL in wins and earned run with 20 wins and 3.2 earned run, an ERA of 3.2, and led the Dodgers to their first World Series championship. But in 1956, he stepped up his game even more as he won a career-high 27 games and had a career low of 3.06 ERA, starting 36 games with 18 complete games. And that year, he beat out Sal Maglie, Whitney Ford, and Warren Sapan as he destroyed them as he beat all of them by more than 7 wins that year. And he would also win the NL MVP, beating out Sal Maglie and Hammerin' Hank Aaron. Now, this was the peak and the highlight of Don Newcombe's career, and he was the only player to win MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year until 2011 when Justin Verlander accomplished all 3 as well. Although he struggled that year in the playoffs and lost Game 7 of the World Series to the rival, the New York Yankees. But after this, he struggled to find that magic he had in 1956, as he would go 0-6 to start the next year and eventually be traded to the Cincinnati Reds. And the most wins he would have for the rest of his career would be 13. And following the 1960 season, he would go on to retire, winning 153 games in his career with an ERA of 3.57, with over 1,000 strikeouts. He had been named to 4 All-Stars, but following his his major league career, he actually signed with the Churchy Dragons of the MPB, which is the Japanese league, where he only actually pitched one game and was there more as an outfielder or first baseman. And he hit 12 home runs and had 41 RBIs. After his retirement in the 1970s, he would join back up with the Dodgers, becoming the director of community affairs. And in 2009, he would be named special advisor to the chairman of the team and would be enshrined in 2019 in the initial class of the Legend of Dodger Baseball. Unfortunately, this was shortly after he passed away in February that year. But he was a great baseball player that can always be remembered for what he did on the field. After the first 10 years of the Cy Young being for the whole league, they decided to separate it into be the American and the National Cy Young. And ever since, it's become known as a staple for measurement as the best pitcher in baseball. And Roger Clemens has the most Cy Young awards with 7, with Randy Johnson following with 5. And the Brooklyn Dodgers had the most as a team, having 12 pitchers win the award. And there have been a total of 10 players to win MVP and Cy Young awards, including Sandy Koufax, Bob Gibson, Denny McLain, Vida Blue, Raleigh Fingers, Willie Hernandez, Roger Clemens, Dennis Eckersley, Justin Verlander, and most recently, Clayton Kershaw. And if you want more Dodgers content, check out the Dodgers Territory podcast, where hosts Rizzo and Clint take you through all you need to know about Dodger baseball, looking into the team, giving you an unfiltered inside access to Dodgers and related Dodgers content, so you get to know all you need to know about the Dodgers. And we'll put a link in the description below for you to check them out. And if you liked today's episode of Daily Sports History, please leave us a like or review wherever you're listening. It helps others know that this is a great show for them to learn more about sports history. And did you catch the answer to today's trivia question? How many pitchers have won MVP and Cy Young in the same year? And the answer is 10, starting with Don Newcombe.